I've been on this earth for over 80 years now, and in that time I've learned a thing or two about life. One of the most profound realizations I've had is this: stop choosing what's not choosing you. It sounds simple, but it's a truth that can change your entire perspective if you truly embrace it. Too often we find ourselves chasing after things that simply aren't meant for us. We pursue relationships with people who don't reciprocate our feelings. We strive for careers that don't align with our passions. And we cling to dreams that, deep down, we know aren't realistic. We waste so much time and energy trying to force pieces into a puzzle that they were never designed to fit into. But here's the thing: life has a way of guiding us towards what's truly meant for us. When we're on the right path, doors open effortlessly. Opportunities arise as if by magic. The right people come into our lives at precisely the right moments. It's almost as if the universe is conspiring in our favor. On the flip side, when we're chasing after something that's not meant for us, we face resistance at every turn. We struggle, we fight, we push against the current, but no matter how hard we try, we just can't seem to make progress. That's because we're swimming upstream, trying to go against the natural flow of our lives. I remember when I was younger, I had my heart set on becoming a lawyer. I studied pre-law in college, spent countless hours preparing for the LSAT, and even got accepted into a prestigious law school. But as I embarked on that journey, something just didn't feel right. I felt like I was forcing myself into a mold that didn't quite fit. It wasn't until I took a step back and really listened to my intuition that I realized law wasn't my true calling. Instead, I felt drawn towards business and entrepreneurship. I decided to take a leap of faith and pursue that path instead, even though it meant starting over in many ways. And you know what? As soon as I made that shift, everything began to fall into place. I met the right mentors, stumbled upon incredible opportunities, and found a sense of fulfillment that I had never experienced before. It was as if the universe was rewarding me for finally listening to my inner voice and aligning myself with my true purpose. The same principle applies to relationships. How many times have you found yourself pining after someone who just isn't interested? You send them texts that go unanswered. You go out of your way to bump into them. You try to convince them to give you a chance, but despite your best efforts, they just aren't receptive. Meanwhile, there may be someone else right in front of you who is ready and willing to love you the way you deserve, someone who appreciates your quirks, who supports your dreams, who makes you feel alive and inspired. But because you're so focused on chasing the person who isn't choosing you, you might miss out on the incredible love that's been waiting for you all along. It's a hard truth to swallow, but sometimes the people we want the most are the ones who are the least right for us. And the sooner we can accept that and redirect our energy towards those who truly value us, the sooner we can find the happiness and fulfillment we seek. The same goes for our careers and our passions. Too many people stay stuck in dead-end jobs because they're afraid to take a risk and pursue something new. They convince themselves that they're not qualified, that they don't have what it takes, or that the timing isn't right. But the truth is, if you have a burning desire to do something different with your life, there's no better time than now to go for it. Sure, making a major life change can be scary. It requires courage, faith, and a willingness to step outside your comfort zone. But the alternative is far worse: living a life of regret, wondering what could have been if only you had been brave enough to follow your heart. I'll never forget the moment I decided to leave my corporate job and start my own business. It was terrifying. And there were plenty of people who told me I was crazy for giving up a stable paycheck to pursue such an uncertain path. But deep down, I knew it was what I was meant to do. I had a vision for my life that couldn't be contained within the walls of a cubicle, and I was willing to risk everything to bring that vision to life. And you know what? It was the best decision I ever made. Yes, there were challenges and setbacks along the way, but the rewards have been beyond anything I could have imagined. I wake up every day excited to do work that I love, to make a positive impact on the world, and to live life on my own terms. And none of that would have been possible if I had chosen to stay stuck in a career that wasn't choosing me. So my challenge to you today is this: take a good hard look at your life and ask yourself if you're choosing things that are truly choosing you back. Are you in relationships that uplift and inspire you, or are you settling for less than you deserve? Are you doing work that lights you up inside, or are you just going through the motions to collect a paycheck? Are you pursuing dreams that make your heart sing, or are you letting fear and doubt hold you back? If you find that you're choosing things that aren't choosing you, it's time to make a change. It's time to let go of what's no longer serving you and make space for what's truly meant for you. It might be scary, it might be uncomfortable, but I promise you this, when you align yourself with what's authentically right for you, magic happens. Doors that were once closed suddenly swing wide open. People who were once strangers become your biggest supporters. Opportunities that you never could have imagined start falling into your lap. It's as if the universe is saying, finally, you're on the right track. Here's everything you need to make your dreams a reality. But it all starts with a choice to honor yourself, to listen to your inner wisdom, and to trust that life is always guiding you towards your highest good. A choice to let go of what's not meant for you and embrace what is. I know it's not always easy. There will be moments of doubt, moments of fear, moments when you question everything. But in those moments, I want you to remember this: you are worthy of a life that feels good. You are deserving of relationships that nourish your soul, work that ignites your passion, and experiences that fill you with joy. And the only way to create that kind of life is by choosing what chooses you. So start today. Start small if you need to, but start somewhere. Let go of one thing that's been weighing you down and open yourself up to something new. Trust your instincts, follow your heart, and believe that the universe has your back. Because when you do, I promise you this, your life will unfold in ways more beautiful than you ever could have imagined. It's not about forcing things to happen or trying to control every outcome. It's about surrendering to the flow of life and allowing yourself to be guided towards what's truly meant for you. It's about having faith that even when things don't go according to plan, there's always a higher purpose at work. I've seen it time and time again in my own life. Moments that felt like setbacks actually turned out to be blessings in disguise. Relationships that ended painfully cleared the way for new love to enter. Failures that felt devastating paved the way for even greater successes. It's all part of the journey, and every experience is a chance to learn, grow, and evolve. So embrace the ups and downs, the twists and turns, the unexpected detours. Trust that every step is leading you closer to your true path, even if it doesn't always feel that way in the moment. And most importantly, never stop listening to that inner voice that knows without a shadow of a doubt what's right for you. It might whisper at first, but the more you listen, the louder it will become. And as you start to align your life with its guidance, you'll find that everything begins to flow with more ease and grace. You'll attract the right people, the right opportunities, and the right experiences like a magnet. You'll feel a sense of purpose and fulfillment that you never knew was possible. But it all starts with a willingness to let go of what's not choosing you, a willingness to make space for what's truly meant for you, a willingness to trust in the journey and believe that your best life is waiting for you just on the other side of your comfort zone. So take a deep breath, summon your courage, and take that first step. Choose what chooses you and watch as your world begins to transform in ways you never could have imagined. It won't always be easy, but I promise you this, it will always be worth it. Because at the end of the day, life is too short to settle for anything less than what sets your soul on fire. You deserve to wake up every morning feeling excited, inspired, and alive. You deserve to be surrounded by people who love and appreciate you for exactly who you are. You deserve to do work that fills you with a sense of purpose and meaning. And most of all, you deserve to live a life that feels authentic, joyful, and true to your deepest desires. So stop choosing what's not choosing you and start embracing what is. Trust the journey, trust yourself, and trust that the universe is always conspiring in your favor. And remember, no matter what challenges you face along the way, you have everything you need within you to create a life beyond your wildest dreams. It's time to stop settling, stop compromising, and start living the life you were born to live. It's time to choose yourself, choose your dreams, and choose a future that fills you with excitement and possibility. Because when you do, I promise you this, the best is yet to come. When I was in my 20s, I found myself in a relationship that I thought was the real deal. We had been together for years, and I had convinced myself that this person was my soulmate, my forever partner. I had invested so much time, energy, and emotion into the relationship that I couldn't imagine my life without them. But as time went on, I started to notice little signs that something wasn't quite right. We would have arguments that never seemed to get resolved. We had different values and goals for the future, and I often felt like I was compromising my own needs and desires to keep the peace. But still, I held on, convinced that if I just tried harder, loved more, and gave more of myself, things would eventually work out. It wasn't until a close friend of mine sat me down and had a heart-to-heart with me that I finally started to see the truth. She pointed out all the ways in which this relationship was draining me, holding me back, and keeping me from being my authentic self. She reminded me of all the dreams and goals I had put on hold because they didn't align with what my partner wanted for us. And most importantly, she made me see that I deserved so much more than what I was settling for. It was a hard pill to swallow, but I knew in my heart that she was right. I had been choosing someone who wasn't really choosing me back, at least not in the way I needed and deserved. I had been pouring my heart and soul into a relationship that was never going to be what I truly wanted, no matter how hard I tried. So I made the difficult decision to end things and strike out on my own. It was scary, and there were moments when I doubted myself and wondered if I had made the right choice. But as time went on, I started to notice something incredible happening. Suddenly, I had all this time and energy to focus on myself and my own goals. I started pursuing passions and hobbies that I had let fall by the wayside. I reconnected with old friends and made new ones, and I started to feel a sense of joy and freedom that I hadn't experienced in years. And then when I least expected it, I met someone new, someone who shared my values, supported my dreams, and loved me for exactly who I was. It was like the universe had been waiting for me to let go of what wasn't serving me so that it could bring me something even better. And as I look back on that time in my life, I realized that none of it would have been possible if I had stayed in that old relationship, settling for less than I deserved. So, if you find yourself in a similar situation, whether it's in your relationships, your career, or any other area of your life, I want you to remember this: you are worthy of so much more than you can even imagine. You deserve to be with someone who chooses you every single day, who supports your dreams and encourages you to be your best self. You deserve to do work that fills you with passion and purpose, and to be surrounded by people who uplift and inspire you. But to attract those things into your life, you have to be willing to let go of what's no longer serving you. You have to be willing to make space for something new, even if it's scary and uncertain. And most importantly, you have to be willing to choose yourself, even when it means making difficult decisions and facing your fears head-on. I know it's not easy, believe me, I've been there, but I also know that on the other side of that fear lies a life beyond your wildest dreams, a life where you wake up every day feeling excited, inspired, and alive. A life where you're surrounded by people who love and appreciate you for exactly who you are. A life where you're doing work that fills you with a sense of purpose and meaning. And the only way to create that kind of life is by being true to yourself, listening to your inner voice, and choosing what truly chooses you. It might mean ending a relationship that's no longer serving you, even if it's painful in the moment. It might mean leaving a job that's draining your energy and pursuing a new career path, even if it's risky and uncertain. It might mean letting go of old habits, beliefs, and patterns that are holding you back, even if it's uncomfortable and unfamiliar. But I promise you this: when you have the courage to let go of what's not meant for you and embrace what is, your life will transform in ways you never could have imagined. You'll attract abundance, joy, and fulfillment beyond your wildest dreams. You'll discover a sense of purpose and meaning that you never knew existed. And most importantly, you'll become the person you were always meant to be: authentic, empowered, and unapologetically yourself. So start today. Take a good, hard look at your life and ask yourself what you need to let go of in order to make space for something better. Trust your instincts, listen to your heart, and believe in yourself every step of the way. And remember, no matter what challenges you face along the journey, you have everything you need within you to create a life that feels good, a life that chooses you back. It's not about being perfect or having it all figured out. It's about being willing to grow, to learn, and to evolve. It's about having the courage to face your fears and take bold action towards your dreams. And most of all, it's about believing in yourself and your ability to create a life that truly fulfills you. I know it can be tempting to stay in your comfort zone, to settle for what's familiar and safe, but I'm here to tell you that there's so much more waiting for you on the other side of that fear. There's a whole world of possibilities, experiences, and relationships that you can't even imagine yet. And the only way to discover them is by being willing to let go of what's holding you back and step into the unknown. So take a deep breath, summon your courage, and trust that the universe has your back. Believe that every challenge, every setback, every heartbreak is leading you closer to your true path. And know that when you choose what chooses you, everything else will fall into place in perfect timing. It might not happen overnight, and there will undoubtedly be moments of doubt and uncertainty along the way. But I promise you this, when you stay true to yourself and keep choosing what feels authentic and aligned, your life will unfold in ways that are better than you ever could have planned. You'll look back on this moment and realize that everything you went through, every challenge you faced, every risk you took was all leading you to exactly where you were meant to be. And you'll feel a sense of gratitude and awe for the incredible journey that brought you to this point. So don't wait another moment to start living the life you truly want. Don't waste another day settling for less than you deserve. Choose yourself, choose your dreams, and choose a future that fills you with excitement and possibility. And remember, every step of the way, that you are not alone. There are countless others who have walked this path before you, who have faced their fears and taken bold leaps towards their dreams. Draw strength and inspiration from their stories and know that if they can do it, so can you. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, who support your vision, and who inspire you to be your best self. Seek out mentors, coaches, and communities that can guide you along the way and help you navigate the ups and downs of the journey. And most importantly, never stop believing in yourself and your ability to create a life beyond your wildest dreams. So go out there and make it happen. Embrace your true path, follow your heart, and never ever settle for less than you deserve. The world is waiting for you to step into your greatness, and I have no doubt that you have everything it takes to make your wildest dreams a reality. Believe in yourself, believe in your journey, and believe that the universe is always on your side. And remember every step of the way that you are worthy, you are capable, and you are destined for greatness. So keep choosing what chooses you and watch as your life unfolds in ways more beautiful than you ever could have imagined. Thank you. I stand before you today to issue a challenge to conquer your limits. For too long, we have allowed fears, doubts, and excuses to hold us back from achieving our true potential. But I'm here to tell you that it's time to break free from those self-imposed chains and embrace the power that lies within each and every one of you. You see, the human spirit is an incredible force capable of overcoming seemingly insurmountable obstacles if we only have the courage to try. But courage alone is not enough. We must also cultivate an unwavering determination, a relentless drive to keep pushing forward no matter what life throws our way. I know this from personal experience. There was a time in my life when I felt lost, trapped by my own limitations and the weight of others' expectations. But then something shifted within me. I realized that I had been living a life defined by fear, letting my insecurities dictate my actions and hold me back from reaching for my dreams. It was a powerful realization, one that forced me to confront some harsh truths about myself. I had become complacent, content to settle for a life of mediocrity rather than risking failure in pursuit of something greater. But in that moment of clarity, I vowed to change. I refused to be a prisoner of my own mind any longer. The journey that followed was not an easy one. Breaking free from the shackles of self-doubt and negative thinking required a complete overhaul of my mindset and approach to life. It meant pushing myself to my absolute limits, both physically and mentally, in order to break through the barriers I had erected around my true potential. There were times when the pain was almost too much to bear, when every fiber of my being screamed for me to give up and retreat back to the comfortable familiarity of my old ways. But I refused to surrender. I dug deep, tapping into a reservoir of strength and resilience that I never knew existed within me. And as I pushed through those limits, something incredible happened. I began to expand my boundaries, to redefine what was possible for myself. Suddenly, goals that had once seemed unattainable were within my reach. Obstacles that had once seemed insurmountable became mere speed bumps on the road to success. The more I conquered, the more empowered I became. Each triumph, no matter how small, fueled my determination and bolstered my confidence. I began to see the world through a new lens, one that was no longer clouded by fear and self-doubt. And as I continued on this journey of self-discovery and personal growth, I came to realize a profound truth: our limits are not fixed, immutable boundaries, but rather self-imposed constructs that we have the power to transcend. You see, the human mind is an incredible thing. It has the capacity to adapt, to evolve, to push beyond its perceived limitations in ways that we can scarcely imagine. But in order to unlock that potential, we must first be willing to challenge our own beliefs about what is possible. We must be willing to venture into the unknown, to embrace discomfort and uncertainty, and to confront our deepest fears head-on. It is only by stepping outside of our comfort zones and pushing ourselves to our absolute limits that we can truly begin to grow and transform. I know this path is not an easy one. It requires immense courage, unwavering determination, and a willingness to endure pain and struggle. But I promise you, the rewards of conquering your limits are beyond measure. When you break through those self-imposed boundaries, you will experience a sense of freedom and empowerment that is unlike anything else. You will tap into a wellspring of confidence and self-belief that will propel you to new heights of achievement and success. You will no longer be held back by the fears and doubts that once shackled you. Instead, you will embrace every challenge as an opportunity to grow, to push yourself further, and to redefine what is possible. And perhaps most importantly, you will serve as an inspiration to others, a living embodiment of the transformative power of courage, determination, and an unwavering belief in one's own potential. So I implore you, my friends, to embrace this challenge. Commit yourselves to the journey of self-discovery and personal growth. Dare to dream bigger, to push harder, and to conquer the limits that have held you back for far too long. It won't be easy. In fact, it will be one of the most difficult undertakings of your life. But I promise you, the rewards will be worth every ounce of blood, sweat, and tears you pour into the pursuit of your true potential. Imagine a world where we are no longer constrained by the limits we have placed upon ourselves. Imagine a world where we are free to pursue our wildest dreams and ambitions unshackled by fear and self-doubt. That world is within our grasp, my friends, but only if we have the courage to reach out and seize it. So let us forge ahead together, united in our quest to conquer our limits and unlock the boundless potential that lies within each and every one of us. Let us embrace the struggle, the discomfort, and the pain that comes with pushing ourselves to our absolute limits. For it is through that crucible that we will emerge stronger, more resilient, and more empowered than ever before. The path ahead will not be easy, but I promise you it will be worth it. For on the other side of those limits lies a world of possibility and personal greatness that you have yet to even imagine. So take that first step, my friends. Confront your fears, silence your doubts, and embark on the journey of a lifetime. The road may be long and arduous, but I will be there with you every step of the way, cheering you on and reminding you of the incredible power that lies dormant within you. Together, we will conquer our limits and usher in a new era of human potential, one where the boundaries of what is possible are shattered and our dreams become reality. The choice is yours, my friends. Will you remain shackled by the limits you have placed upon yourselves, or will you rise up and embrace the challenge of conquering those boundaries? The decision is yours, but I implore you to choose the path of courage, determination, and personal growth. For it is only by venturing beyond our self-imposed limits that we can truly begin to unlock the full scope of our potential and live the extraordinary lives we were meant to lead. So let us embark on this journey together, united in our quest to conquer our limits and redefine what is possible. The road ahead may be long and difficult, but the rewards that await us on the other side are beyond measure. Are you ready to take that first step? Are you ready to embrace the struggle, the pain, and the discomfort that comes with pushing yourself to your absolute limits? If so, then join me, my friends, and let us write a new chapter in the story of human potential, one where our limits are shattered and our dreams become reality. The time for excuses and self-doubt is over. The time for action, for courage, and for unwavering determination is now. So let us raise our voices in a collective battle cry, a rallying call to arms against the limits that have held us back for far too long. Together, we will conquer these boundaries and unlock a world of limitless possibility. Together, we will redefine what it means to be human and push the boundaries of our potential further than ever before. So who's with me? Who is ready to take that first step on the journey to conquering their limits and achieving greatness beyond their wildest dreams? If you are, then let your voices be heard. Let the world know that we are no longer content to be shackled by the chains of fear and self-doubt. For today, my friends, we declare our independence from the limits that have held us back for far too long. Today, we embark on a new path, one that leads us to the heights of personal achievement and self-actualization. So let us go forth with courage and determination, united in our quest to conquer our limits and unlock the boundless potential that lies within each and every one of us. The road ahead may be long and difficult, but together we are unstoppable. So who's with me? Who is ready to take that first step towards conquering their limits and achieving greatness beyond their wildest dreams? If you are, then let your voices be heard. Let the world know that we are no longer content to be shackled by the chains of fear and self-doubt. For today, my friends, we declare our independence from the limits that have held us back for far too long. Today, we embark on a new path, one that leads us to the heights of personal achievement and self-actualization. I can sense the energy in this room, the fire burning within each of you as you prepare to embark on this transformative journey. But let me be clear, conquering your limits will not be easy. It will require every ounce of grit, perseverance, and an unwavering belief in yourselves. There will be times when the path seems too difficult, when the pain and struggle threaten to overwhelm you. The voice of doubt will creep into your mind, whispering insidiously that you should give up, that you've pushed yourself far enough. But in those moments, you must remain resolute. You must silence that voice and remind yourself of why you embarked on this quest in the first place. For some of you, it may be a lifelong dream that has remained just out of reach, a goal that has taunted you from the shadowy realm of the impossible. For others, it may be a deep-seated desire to prove your worth to yourself and to the world around you. And for others still, it may simply be a burning passion to push the boundaries of what you thought was possible, to redefine the limits of your own potential. Whatever your reason, cling to it fiercely. Let it be your guiding light, your unwavering beacon in the darkest moments of struggle and adversity. For make no mistake, those moments will come. The road to conquering your limits is paved with obstacles and setbacks, each one a test of your resolve and determination. But it is in those moments of intense struggle, when every fiber of your being screams for you to surrender, that the true power of the human spirit is revealed. It is in those crucibles of adversity that heroes are forged, that ordinary individuals transcend the boundaries of what was once thought possible. I have witnessed this transformation firsthand, both in myself and in others who have dared to embrace the challenge of conquering their limits. I have seen men and women, once crippled by fear and self-doubt, rise up and achieve feats that would have seemed utterly impossible to their former selves. I have watched as they shed the shackles of their own limiting beliefs, shedding layer after layer of self-imposed constraints until they stood before me, radiant and transformed, basking in the glory of their hard-won triumphs. And in those moments, I have seen something truly remarkable, a fire in their eyes, a burning intensity that can only be kindled by the forge of adversity and the crucible of personal growth. It is a look of profound self-belief, of unwavering confidence in one's own abilities, and an unshakable determination to push forward, no matter what obstacles may arise. That fire, my friends, is the mark of a true conqueror, one who has stared down their limits and emerged victorious. And it is that fire that I wish to ignite within each and every one of you today. But to do so, you must be prepared to endure hardship and struggle unlike anything you have ever experienced before. You must be willing to push yourself to the very brink of your physical and mental limits, to venture into that dark abyss where the demons of doubt and fear reside, and to emerge triumphant, your spirit forged in the fires of adversity. It will not be an easy path, but I promise you the rewards that await you on the other side are beyond measure. For when you conquer your limits, you will experience a sense of freedom and empowerment that is unparalleled. You will shed the shackles of self-doubt and negative thinking that have held you back for far too long, and you will emerge as a force of nature, unstoppable and unstoppable in your pursuit of greatness. For today, we declare our independence from the limits that have held us back for far too long. Today, we embrace the struggle, the adversity, and the pain that comes with pushing ourselves to our absolute limits. And tomorrow, and every day thereafter, we will continue on this journey, ever onward and upward, conquering our limits one by one, until we stand as living embodiments of the boundless potential that lies within the human spirit. So let us go forth, my friends, and conquer the impossible. Let us shatter the boundaries that have constrained us for far too long and forge a new reality, one where our dreams become manifest and our potential is limitless. Who's with me? Have you ever felt like a volcano on the brink of eruption, your blood boiling, fist clenched, ready to explode at any moment? We've all been there. But what if I told you that this force, this raw, unbridled anger doesn't have to control you? What if instead you could harness it, shape it, and use it to fuel your greatest achievements? Today we're going to embark on a journey of self-discovery, of mastery over our emotions, and ultimately of freedom. Freedom from the chains of uncontrolled anger that have held us back for far too long. I stand before you not as someone who's never felt anger, but as someone who's learned to dance with it, to understand it, to make it work for me rather than against me. And I'm here to show you how you can do the same. Let's start with a simple truth. Anger is a part of our human experience. It's as natural as breathing, as inevitable as the changing of seasons. But here's where many of us go wrong. We see anger as our enemy, something to be suppressed, hidden away in the darkest corners of our psyche. But what if we've been looking at it all wrong? What if anger, when understood and channeled correctly, could be one of our greatest allies? Think about it. When you're angry, you're passionate, you're energized, you're ready to take action. These are powerful forces that, when directed properly, can move mountains. The problem isn't the anger itself, it's our relationship with it, it's how we choose to express it or not express it, it's about control. And that's what we're here to talk about today. Controlling your anger isn't about suppressing it or pretending it doesn't exist. It's about understanding it, embracing it, and then channeling it in a way that serves you and those around you. Let me tell you a story. Years ago, I was stuck in traffic. I mean, really stuck. The kind of gridlock that makes you question every life decision that led you to this moment. I could feel the anger rising within me. My hands gripped the steering wheel so tight my knuckles turned white. I was ready to unleash a torrent of frustration on the next person who dared to honk their horn. But then something strange happened. In that moment of peak frustration, I had a revelation. I realized that my anger wasn't changing the situation. It wasn't making the traffic move any faster. All it was doing was making me miserable. So I made a choice. I chose to let go. I took a deep breath, loosened my grip on the steering wheel, and decided to use this time differently. I turned on an audiobook I'd been meaning to listen to for weeks. And you know what? That traffic jam became one of the most productive hours of my week. This experience taught me a valuable lesson. Anger is like a fire. Left unchecked, it can burn everything in its path, including ourselves. But when controlled, it can warm us, energize us, and light our way through the darkness. So how do we make this shift? How do we go from being controlled by our anger to controlling it? The first step is awareness. We need to become intimately familiar with our anger. What triggers it? How does it manifest in our bodies, in our thoughts? In our actions? For me, I noticed that my anger often came from a place of fear or insecurity. When I felt threatened or out of control, anger was my go-to response. It was my shield, my way of protecting myself from vulnerability. Once you've identified your triggers and patterns, the next step is acceptance. This doesn't mean accepting bad behavior or harmful actions. It means accepting that anger is a part of you, a part of your emotional landscape. It's not good or bad, it just is. This acceptance is crucial because it allows us to stop fighting against our anger. When we stop seeing it as the enemy, we can start seeing it as information. Our anger is trying to tell us something. Maybe it's pointing out an injustice. Maybe it's highlighting an area where we need to set better boundaries. Maybe it's pushing us to make a change we've been avoiding. The key is to listen to your anger without letting it dictate your actions. This is where the real work begins. I want you to imagine your anger as a small child. When a child throws a tantrum, what's the best response? Is it to scream back at them? To punish them? Or is it to calmly acknowledge their feelings, to try to understand what's causing their distress, and to guide them towards a more constructive expression of their emotions? This is how we need to treat our anger, with compassion, understanding, and firm guidance. One technique I found incredibly helpful is the pause. When you feel anger rising, pause. Take a deep breath. Count to 10 if you need to. This simple act creates a space between the trigger and your response. It gives you a moment to choose how you want to react rather than being swept away by the tide of your emotions. During this pause, ask yourself what's really going on here. What am I really angry about? Often you'll find that the surface level trigger isn't the real issue. Maybe you're not really angry about the dirty dishes in the sink. Maybe you're feeling underappreciated in your relationship. Maybe you're not really furious about the traffic. Maybe you're stressed about being late to an important meeting. By digging deeper, we can address the root cause of our anger rather than just treating the symptoms. Another powerful tool is reframing. This involves looking at the situation from a different perspective. Remember, our anger often comes from our interpretation of events, not the events themselves. Let's say someone cuts you off in traffic. Your immediate reaction might be anger. What an inconsiderate jerk, but what if you reframed it? Maybe that person just got a call that their child is in the hospital. Maybe they're rushing to say goodbye to a dying parent. Or maybe they're just having a really bad day and made a mistake. By reframing the situation, we open ourselves up to empathy and understanding. This doesn't mean we excuse bad behavior, but it allows us to respond from a place of compassion rather than rage. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but I like my anger. It makes me feel powerful, it gets things done, and you're not entirely wrong. Anger can be a powerful motivator. It can push us to fight injustice, to stand up for ourselves, to make positive changes in the world. The key is to use your anger, not let it use you. Channel that energy into constructive action. Are you angry about a social issue? Get involved in activism. Are you frustrated with your job? Use that energy to update your resume and look for new opportunities. Are you upset about a personal relationship? Let that anger fuel an honest, respectful conversation about your needs and boundaries. Remember, the goal isn't to never feel angry. The goal is to express that anger in ways that are healthy and productive both for ourselves and for those around us. This brings me to an important point, the impact of our anger on others. Uncontrolled anger doesn't just hurt us, it damages our relationships, our reputation, our opportunities in life. How many times have you said something in anger that you later regretted? How many relationships have been strained or broken because of uncontrolled outbursts? By learning to control our anger, we're not just improving our own lives, we're creating a ripple effect that touches everyone around us. We're creating safer, more respectful environments in our homes, our workplaces, our communities. But let's be real, this isn't easy. Changing our relationship with anger is a process. It takes time, effort, and a whole lot of patience. There will be setbacks. There will be days when you lose your cool. And that's okay. The important thing is to keep trying, to keep learning, to keep growing. One practice that's been transformative for me is mindfulness. Mindfulness is about being fully present in the moment, observing our thoughts and feelings without judgment. When we practice mindfulness, we create a space between our emotions and our actions. We become observers of our anger rather than being consumed by it. Try this the next time you feel anger rising. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Notice where you feel the anger in your body. Is it a tightness in your chest? A heat in your face? Just observe these sensations without trying to change them. Notice the thoughts running through your mind. Are they true? Are they helpful? Just watch them come and go like clouds passing in the sky. This practice helps us detach from our anger. We start to realize that we are not our anger. We are the awareness that observes the anger. This shift in perspective can be incredibly liberating. Another powerful tool is gratitude. It might seem counterintuitive to focus on gratitude when you're feeling angry, but hear me out. Anger and gratitude cannot coexist in the same moment. By consciously shifting our focus to what we're grateful for, we can short-circuit the anger response. The next time you feel anger bubbling up, try this. Stop and name 3 things you're grateful for. They can be big things like your health or your loved ones, or small things like the cup of coffee you had this morning or the sunny weather. By redirecting your mind to gratitude, you're changing your emotional state. Now, I want to address something important. Some of you might be carrying anger from past experiences, trauma, abuse, injustice. This kind of deep-seated anger can be particularly challenging to deal with. If this resonates with you, I want you to know that it's okay. Your anger is valid. It's a natural response to pain and mistreatment. But I also want you to know that you don't have to carry this burden forever. Seeking help from a mental health professional can be incredibly valuable in processing these deeper angers. Remember, asking for help is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength and self-love. As we continue on this journey of mastering our anger, it's crucial to develop a toolkit of coping strategies. Different techniques work for different people, so it's about finding what resonates with you. Physical activity can be a great outlet for anger. Going for a run, hitting a punching bag, or even doing some vigorous cleaning can help release that pent-up energy. Creative expressions like painting, writing, or playing music can also be powerful ways to channel anger into something beautiful and meaningful. Breathing exercises are another valuable tool. When we're angry, our breathing often becomes shallow and rapid. By consciously slowing and deepening our breath, we can calm our nervous system and regain control. Try this. Breathe in for a count of 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold for 4. And hold for 4. Repeat this cycle a few times and notice how it affects your emotional state. Journaling is another practice I've found immensely helpful. Writing about your anger can help you understand it better. It can reveal patterns and triggers you might not have been aware of. Plus, the act of putting your feelings into words can be cathartic, helping to release some of that pent-up emotion. As you develop your anger management toolkit, remember that prevention is just as important as reaction. Are there certain situations or people that consistently trigger your anger? Can you limit your exposure to these triggers? If not, can you prepare yourself mentally before encountering them? For instance, if you know you have a challenging meeting coming up, take a few minutes beforehand to center yourself. Use some of the techniques we've discussed: deep breathing, mindfulness, gratitude. Set an intention for how you want to show up in that meeting. By proactively managing your emotional state, you're less likely to be caught off guard by anger. Now, let's talk about communication. Often our anger stems from feeling unheard or misunderstood. Learning to communicate effectively can significantly reduce anger in our relationships. One powerful communication tool is the use of I statements. Instead of saying you always do this or you never listen, try expressing your feelings without blame. I feel frustrated when this happens. I feel hurt when I don't feel heard. This approach is less likely to put the other person on the defensive, opening the door for more constructive dialogue. Active listening is equally important. When we truly listen to others, seeking to understand rather than to respond, we often find that our anger dissipates. We might realize that there's been a misunderstanding or gain insight into the other person's perspective. Remember, the goal of communication in conflict isn't to win. It's to understand and to be understood. When we approach our interactions with this mindset, we create space for resolution and growth rather than escalation and resentment. As we continue to work on managing our anger, it's important to celebrate our progress. Notice the times when you successfully navigate a triggering situation. Acknowledge the moments when you choose a thoughtful response over a knee-jerk reaction. These small victories are the building blocks of lasting change. At the same time, be patient with yourself. Change doesn't happen overnight. There will be times when you slip back into old patterns. When this happens, don't beat yourself up. Instead, view it as a learning opportunity. What can this moment teach you about your triggers? About your needs? Use it as motivation to recommit to your journey of growth. One aspect of anger management that often gets overlooked is self-care. When we're stressed, overwhelmed, or depleted, we're much more likely to lose our cool. Taking care of our physical and emotional needs isn't selfish, it's essential for maintaining emotional balance. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. Eat nourishing foods, move your body regularly. Take time for activities that bring you joy and relaxation. When we prioritize our well-being, we build emotional resilience. We create a buffer that helps us weather life's inevitable storms without being swept away by anger. As we near the end of our time together, I want to circle back to where we started. Remember, the goal isn't to eliminate anger from our lives. Anger, like all emotions, serves a purpose. It can motivate us to make positive changes. It can help us recognize and protect our boundaries. It can be a catalyst for personal growth and social progress. The key is to make anger work for us, not against us, to use it as a tool, not a weapon, to let it inform us, not control us. Imagine a world where we all had this level of emotional mastery, a world where disagreements led to dialogue instead of destruction, where frustrations fueled positive action instead of violence, where we responded to injustice with focused determination rather than blind rage. This world is possible, and it starts with each one of us in this moment making the choice to take control of our anger. As you leave here today, I challenge you to pay attention to your anger. Notice when it arises. Get curious about it. What's it trying to tell you? How can you respond in a way that honors your feelings while also respecting others? Remember, this is a journey. There's no finish line, no point at which you'll never feel angry again. The goal is progress, not perfection. Each time you choose a thoughtful response over a reactive one, you're rewiring your brain. You're creating new neural pathways that make it easier to manage your anger in the future. You have the power to change your relationship with anger. You have the ability to transform this powerful emotion from a destructive force into a constructive one. It won't always be easy, but I promise you it's worth it. The freedom you'll feel when you're no longer at the mercy of your anger is incredible. The positive impact it will have on your relationships, your career, your overall well-being, it's truly life-changing. So I invite you to join me on this journey. Let's commit to mastering our anger, to using it as a force for good in our lives and in the world. Let's choose understanding over reactivity, compassion over condemnation, growth over stagnation. Remember, you are not your anger. You are the consciousness that observes it, the wisdom that guides it, the love that transforms it. You have everything you need within you to make this change. As you go forward from here, carry this truth with you. You have the power to control your anger before it controls you. You have the ability to respond rather than react. You have the strength to choose love over fear, understanding over judgment, peace over conflict. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Today you've taken that step. You've chosen to embark on this path of emotional mastery. And I want you to know that I believe in you. I believe in your capacity for growth, for change, for transformation. So go forth with courage, with determination, with compassion for yourself and for others. Remember that every moment is a new opportunity to choose how you want to show up in the world. Every interaction is a chance to practice what we've discussed here today. You have the power to rewrite your story, to change the narrative of your life. You are not defined by your past reactions or behaviors. You are defined by the choices you make in this moment and the next and the next and the next. So choose wisely, choose consciously, choose love, choose understanding, choose growth, and watch as your world transforms around you. Thank you for your attention, for your openness, for your willingness to embark on this journey of self-discovery and emotional mastery. Remember, the power is in your hands. You can control your anger before it controls you. Now go out there and create the life you deserve, a life of peace, of purpose, of profound connection with yourself and others. The world is waiting for the best version of you. The version that responds with wisdom instead of reacting with anger. The version that chooses understanding over judgment. The version that uses the fire of anger not to destroy, but to illuminate the path forward. As you leave here today, I want you to make a commitment to yourself. A commitment to be more aware of your anger, to be curious about it rather than afraid of it. A commitment to pause before you react, to choose your response consciously.